Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's News Tonight, the weeknight news show where we're joined by special guests, our lovely patrons, and our awesome YouTube audience to discuss the day's gaming news. It is episode 109, and I am your host, Ash Paulson, and I'm joined today, as always, by my great friends and GVG co-founders, Derek Bittner and Steve Bowling, along with our very special guest, superstar NT Creates producer, Matt Papa, another dear friend of mine and one of the coolest people in the video game industry. Matt, I am so happy and honored to have you here on the show. How are you doing, man?
Well, I'm doing great because you know how to start a man's day, saying such kind things. Sure. It's so good to see you again. It's nice to meet you guys. Yeah, and I'm very happy to be here. It's a great way to start off my day.
Well, it really is the start of your day, right? Because you are all the way over in Japan.
I am. It is 8 in the morning. Oh my God. I got my coffee from the convenience store, and I'm ready to rock.
Nice. Well, you and I have known each other for years. I don't even remember which PAX East. I think it was a PAX East that we originally met at the NT Creates booth, and we just started a strong friendship right then and there. Yes, I think it's been at least 5 years now, right? That we've known each other.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I remember you came over like this is one of my people.
Yeah. I've been
to get that feeling from Ash.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the games NT makes are right in my wheelhouse in terms of what the genres I love, right? And so I've been a big fan of NT stuff even since before I met you, and then I've been an even bigger fan since I met you because you just bring up you just make NT that much better just by being there, man.
Well, hot damn! Thank you so much, Ash. I mean, I've been at NT for it'll be 7 years in September, which is bonkers to even say. Wow. Yeah, I mean, when I got here back in 2014, my goal was to, give NT Creates as much of a presence as I possibly could outside of Japan, because that was when NT really first started getting off the ground, and because Azure Striker Gunvolt in August of 2014 was our very first self-published title, and right. So after that, my goal, I basically came in at the ground floor where NT Creates was kind of having like a paradigm shift from like just a dev for hire studio into really branching out and doing its own thing with its original IPs. So it's been a crazy ride.
Well, so speaking of NT Creates' work and what you're working on right now, I want to give you the floor a little bit to hype up a game that I know Derek and I especially are so excited about, and that's coming out at the end of this month.
Do we have you to thank for this whole trilogy? Because hot damn.
Yeah, man. Blaster Master 03. Derek and I both loved the Blaster Master 0 and 02. And you know that I've talked to you about this, how much I love this series plenty, Matt, but I want to give you a chance to tell us what we can be excited about in Blaster Master 03 at the end of this month.
So yeah, Blaster Master 03 is coming July 29th. Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One / Series X, Steam, and Epic Game Store. This is our biggest, the most platforms we had on a day one release ever so far. That's really exciting for us. So 3, this is kind of like it's the end of the trilogy, right? So Blaster Master 0, 1, 2, 3 makes up a trilogy, the Jason saga, as it were. Right. And so this game kind of ties up the loose ends and really wraps up that story that all began with Blaster Master 01. And there's a lot, two major gameplay developments that happened with 3. There's the new VRV system, which allows Jason to go into super dimensional space, which if you've played the other games, you may be kind of familiar with, like all like the crazy like other side where like the mutants reside and stuff like that. And it creates a whole new dynamic of gameplay. And the patenting gun level system from Blaster Master 0 has been completely reworked for Blaster Master 03. And I think in a much better way that I think new players and series veterans will enjoy.
Awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Man, that sounds cool.
I'll be honest. I have not looked at it too much just because I know I'm going to get it. So it's just like dive in and enjoy all the new things coming there. But with the trilogy complete, can we finally expect Blaster Master 1?
Well, I'm pretty sure the original Blaster Master is on like the Switch Online right now.
I guess that is true. That is true.
It is actually, yeah. The original Blaster Master is.
If you want to go back and play it, it's a kick in the face a little bit. If you haven't gone back to it, if you're used to 0 and then you go back and play Blaster Master, the original, it's a little it's rough in terms of like it's hard. That's a hard game because it does not hold your hand even like a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why I was grateful for the remake, because I was like, oh, thank God. I can actually manage this game now.
Yeah, I mean, I know I never beat the original, even as a kid or as an adult. So.
Yeah. Well, I know Blaster Master 03 is obviously what's coming out very soon, but that's not the only 3 you're working on. And I know this is much further out, so I know you can't say as much, but I am going to put you on the spot a little bit. Sure, is there anything you want to tell GVG's audience about Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 as it stands right now? Because we're excited about that too.
I'm just so happy that it's a thing and that it's like officially coming, because you gotta keep in mind, Gunvolt 2 came out in 2016.
Right.
Dude.
Right.
That's crazy.
Well, I remember I bugged you a few times. I was like, hey, Matt, come on, like, is Gunvolt 3 happening? Like, what's going on, man? Come on.
It's bonkers how long it's been since Gunvolt 2 came out. So this is very much a long time coming. And, we did release, Gunvolt Chronicles, Luminous Avenger in the interim, which is like kind of like the Gaiden, the side story featuring Copen, which is kind of, its own branch on its own path from, the mainline Gunvolt games. So there hasn't been no Gunvolt in the past 5 years. But yeah, I mean, I think everyone who is a fan of the series has definitely been waiting for this. And, the development's going really well. The team's together. They're doing their thing. I'm seeing, the team working on the amazing pixel art and the illustrations and like the level designs. Just walking through the office, sometimes I always get a little giddy whenever I see like a new character's like pixel art getting worked on or stuff like that. Yeah. So I can't give anything too specific, but just suffice to say that the team's working really hard on it, and it's coming along very, very nicely. I think any Gunvolt faithful will be pleased with what this game is turning into.
That's awesome. Well, I know I'm hyped, and I'm almost as hyped about the fact that you said suffice to say. Thank you so much for not saying suffice it to say, because that's what everyone says. And really? I appreciate that you say that right. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay. Yeah, no, I hear it all the time. Suffice it to say. I'm like, no, you just suffice to say. There's no it in there. But that's just the grammar. The grammar. Honestly,
maybe this is what I get for living away from a native English-speaking country for so long, but I didn't even know that was a thing. So. Yeah,
no, it definitely is.
Nobody can speak right over here. Wow,
it's like saying "as per your email." No, there's no "as," just per your email. Come on. But we're not here to talk about grammar. We're here to talk about video game news. But before we do get to the news, we have a few super chats to read out. The first one being from Arkoda Chiad with a $10 donation saying, "Hey, GVG, who's your favorite Nick All-Stars character out of the ones revealed so far? Who do you think you'll enjoy playing the most if those are different answers?" And we're going to be talking about plenty of Nickelodeon All-Stars later in the show, but I'll just put it out there and say, obviously, by default, the Ninja Turtles, I assume Donnie and Raph are going to be there as well. But also, I love my old school Nicktoons, so Oblina and Reptar, hell yeah, that's so cool that they're in this game.
Yeah. I would say Oblina. I didn't even look up the roster, and I Googled Oblina real quick to make sure I remembered her name correctly. So definitely Oblina for me. I just love Real Monsters so much. Same. So that is. I would say normally I would go with the Ninja Turtles, but they've had so many games. Like, when the hell else are some of these other characters going to be in games? So I'm going to stick with Oblina for my choice for now.
Gotcha. What about you, Jared?
You guys are just sleeping on Nigel Thornberry. Come on, he's going to be top tier. We all know it.
Yeah. No, I know. I didn't know he has like almost a mimetic quality to him. I never watched.
People like to put his face over other things just because it's so weird. Plus, it's Tim Curry.
True. Right.
What about you, Matt? Still voicing him to this day?
I don't think the show's still going on, and I think Tim Curry's kind of been retired for the most part. I think he had a stroke a while back. He's recovering pretty well, but I think that's why we haven't seen much of Tim Curry lately.
Okay, I was gonna say it would just be so cool just to see him do something. Like I'm
gonna guess there's not gonna be any new lines. They're probably gonna be pulling a lot of clips. If I had to guess. Okay,
I think that's totally fair. But that's a good question. I didn't get to look into it too much, but I was just happy to see that some of the the new Ninja Turtles were in it, just because I really I was one of those people who actually played a decent amount of Turtles tournament fighters on Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
So trying to do that again with all these Nickelodeon characters, that's pretty rad. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, it's very tempting to keep talking about this right now, but we are going to have a whole segment on Nick All-Star. So thank you, Arkoda Sheehan, for the donation. Next up is RC with a $5 donation saying, great to see Matt on. He signed my copy of Luminous Avenger X at PAX South and was super nice. I've missed cons, hyped for Blaster Master 03 and Gunvolt 3, and now Super Robot War 30 is his US release too. Hell yeah, lots of stuff to get hype about, and thank you so much, RC, for the donation. Next up is Value with another $5 donation saying, I just started Yakuza 0 and Final Fantasy 14. Coming from a competitive gaming background such as League, Smash, Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, etc., it is a nice change of pace. Love you guys. Well, love you too, Value, and thank you so much for the donation. Absolutely. Enjoy Yakuza 0. I still have yet to get there. I'm still finishing Yakuza 7. And then finally, we have a $5 donation from Nathan, the voice actor, saying, hi, everyone. I want to share a Kickstarter game. Heard of Crownsworn? It's a Hollow Knight-esque Metroidvania that reached its goal in 3 hours, ends on August 9th. Actually, I have heard of it. I saw that making the rounds like a couple of days ago, I think, or maybe yesterday. So what about you guys? Have you seen this going around?
I've not seen the trailer, but I've seen people talking about it. I haven't had a chance to really check it out yet. My goal today was finishing that SMT deep dive. That's been on my plate for so long now, so it's nice to get that finished.
Yeah.
I just Googled Crowsworn, I believe, is the name of it. And it looks like it borrows liberally from Hollow Knight. Like
I've heard that. But that's probably why people were down for it, because we haven't gotten Silksong yet. So
yeah, I understand that, but I mean, there's an homage and then there's a copy, and I feel like this is closer to the latter. I looked at it and I was like, wow, I must have accidentally pulled up a Hollow Knight screenshot, and then I saw that the character was different. I'm like, nope, that's it.
It looks very similar
down to the UI font. when you're cribbing fonts, I start to feel like you might be venturing into potential lawsuit territory, but I don't know. I mean, it looks just close enough to where I feel like it could create confusion with people that are less in the know about games, but it is wildly similar. That being said, I mean, it looks dope. I would probably try a demo of it.
It's a crow with a scythe. How can you go wrong?
Yeah. So Crowsworn. I don't know why I said Crownsworn. I added an N in there.
Because it's really easy to assume a game's not starring a crow.
Yeah, that's true.
Just looking at it now, it's at 333,000 of a basically $100,000 goal. So that's already made 3 times its amount. That's
impressive. No matter what it is, that's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Next very similar to Hollow Knight, but hey, that's not a bad thing.
No, exactly. Next up, we have a $5 Canadian donation from Bongo Lover, our good old friend Bongo Lover, saying, I finally got fully vaccinated with the Danimals one. You think Boss Baby and Bongo have a chance of joining the Nick Pass? Well, first of all, Bongo Lover, congratulations on getting fully vaccinated. That is awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that. That's all. We're always happy to hear when a member of the GVG communities got vaccinated. They're safe and taking care of themselves. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
As for Boss Baby and Bongo and All-Stars, I would be willing to bet that.
No.
Yeah.
I lost you there for like a solid 5 or 10 seconds.
Yeah, your audio went off for the like 10 seconds there. You're still here now, Ash, but that's weird.
So weird. I wonder if my internet just like died really quickly.
You are desynced like crazy now.
Oh man, I don't know what happened. All right, well. Sorry, guys. I'm back now, though.
Maybe pop out, pop back in. We're going to get a little screwed.
Pop out and pop back. Okay, I'll do that.
That might be a good idea. Uh-oh.
Let's hope we get... there we go. All right.
Okay.
Good now?
Yes. We're only cut Steve in half. No big deal.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it is nice to hear people getting vaccinated, though. Japan's finally really starting to ramp up their vaccination numbers. Yeah, better late than never. But my city just sent out their sort of like vouchers that you have to use to get yours. They just started sending them out to my age group yesterday. So fingers crossed, mine comes soon, and I can book an appointment. That doesn't take like forever. So
I hope you're getting one soon, man.
For like a very brief period, there were just insanely cheap flights to Japan, but you had to gamble on whether or not the borders would be open again by then. And I was thinking about it. I was like, $273 to go to Japan. I was like,
that's insane.
That's the fare of a lifetime. But I was like,
I've paid more in tolls driving back and forth to like northern Japan than that.
Jeez.
That is wild. Wow. Like, I was thinking about it too. My wife and I were both like, they're non-refundable tickets, and if the borders close, we just don't get to go. And I was like, I wish I pulled the trigger, because now I feel like, because they were 6 months out from when I was looking, so that would have put them at about March of next year. And I'm like, could have done it. Like, I should have just pulled the trigger on those tickets.
I know what you mean, dude, but you never know.
I have plans, though. I have been building. So I've wanted to go to Japan since I was 12. I am 38, almost 39. And so my wife has been saying, before you turn 40, you have to make that trip. Like, you have to go, just because you've wanted to go for so long, and it's crazy. And so next year, as long as the borders open, which I can't imagine they won't, we'll be going. But I've been, now that it's kind of like a reality, I know I'm going to go eventually. I've been building out like this plan for all these things I want to do. And I'm like, I'm not going to sleep. Like, for a week of my life, I'm just not going to rest at all.
I mean, when you get here with the jet lag, you usually don't sleep at all, or sleep like, where'd my first day go? So it's probably going to be one or the other. But no, that's great, man. It's let me know when you're in town, if you're in the Tokyo area.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're definitely.
I love one of my honest to goodness favorite things to do here is like take people around who've never been here before and kind of like re-experience stuff from Japan that that I've just gotten so used to over the years, and it like kind of like reminds me of like how cool some of this stuff actually is. Even though I see it all the time now.
That's a good idea.
No, definitely. I of course, I don't live there, but every time I go, I try to take someone new to the robot restaurant in Shinjuku, because it's like experiencing it for the first time through someone else's eyes each time. Yes. And I just love it's such an experience.
Oh, yeah, it is. I went there once. I went there once. I saved that for when friends were coming, and I went. Nice. And it was a ride.
I cannot wait to come back. My wife and I will be back as soon as they open the borders. Yeah, for sure. We love it there.
I can't wait for the as nice as it is that places like Akihabara are actually kind of peaceful sometimes. You get a little used to that, but at the same time, like there's definitely a lot of like businesses and places like that, restaurants that definitely are missing the tourist crowd. So. You want to see those supported the best they can. So the peace and quiet's nice sometimes, but at the same time, it's like, okay.
And Steve, I'll just say this: get ready to gain some weight, man. You're gonna eat your way through that country the same way my wife and I do.
I have been training all COVID for that.
Nice. All right, got a few more super chats before the news. First is Blindman V2 with $5. Thank you so much. Saying, hey guys, you're going to release this pod loading music on SoundCloud. It's a chill banger. Also, Angry Beavers for All-Stars. Much love, good vibes, and peace. Well, thank you so much, Blindman. And actually, it isn't ours to release. Our theme song was done by the great T. Lopes of Sonic Mania fame. It's called Pure Bliss, named after our highest rating. And I think he released it on his own YouTube channel though, so you can definitely go check it out there.
So.
But yeah, certainly it is not ours to release. It he holds all the rights to the music. It is his creation. We love T. Want to have him on the show sometime, but it was an honor for us to have him compose our theme song. So go check out the song over on his YouTube channel. Yeah. Next is Mwapi Mulingo with $5 saying, so Minions for Nickelodeon Pass because Steve can live out his fantasies then. That's true, Steve. I feel like you'll get this just so you can beat up Minions if Minions somehow make it into the game.
If Minions were in there, I would definitely buy them as DLC just to kill them.
Nice.
But I really need I would need them to be in something more violent. I need Minions in like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
You sound like my fiance. She has a deep burning hatred for Minions too.
Nice.
One of us.
Well, we have to have her on so she and Steve can just talk about how their shared hatred of Minions.
Oh yeah, no, easily.
Nice.
Japan loves Minions, so you'll see like Minions like merch in like random places all over the place. Every time she's just like.
Nice. Well, as I've been saying, they're budget serve bots. That's all they are. They're poor man's robots. We also have $5 more Canadian dollars from Bongo Lover saying, Ash, that boss baby slander is the reason you're cutting out. The boss is after you. Not even Bongo can save you. Well, to be fair, I've never seen a boss baby movie. Maybe they're awesome. I really haven't seen them. So no,
they're not.
Okay. I figured not. I didn't think so, but I was just going to say I haven't seen them. So I didn't want to judge, but yeah, didn't really seem like my thing. But thank you, Bongo Lover. And if my internet cuts out again, we know why. Next is $4.99 from Maxwell Shapiro with no comment, just the donation.
I was been watching this, and basically it looked like what happened is that they didn't get it. They forgot to put their comment in the donation, so they retracted it. So I'm not sure if they doubled up or not because they do comment later with another $4.99. I'm not sure if that was when it retracted the statement. It also retracted the money. It's up to you. Either way, we're grateful for the donation one way or another. They say, can't wait for Yoko Shimomura's remix of the Rugrats theme song in Nick All-Star's Brawl.
Hell yes. I am all about that. Yes. Just get Yoko Shimomura to remix all the Nicktoon themes. I'd be so down for that.
She's such an amazing composer. Like, I cannot
she's
say.
My favorite.
Like, 2 of my 3 favorite soundtracks of all time she's responsible for. So she's incredible.
No, she's like my favorite musician ever. I just love her. She's incredible. Finally, we have $5 from Genso Bukin saying, after Steve's comment from the last episode, we need the bathtub stream with Spawn Wave. Oh, man.
We get demonetized. It'd be too hot.
He's our friend, but it's very clear that he is easily the most jacked person on all of YouTube.
Yeah.
I would not want to there's no way we could make him do anything. He would just destroy us.
So Jack bathtub stream with Steve and Spawn Wave. Got it.
I don't know that's what y'all like. I do not want my body at any point to be compared to Spawn Wave.
Your body isn't ready.
I said he was carved out of wood. If he's carved out of wood, I am made out of just tapioca pudding. Like, please don't compare us. It's not fair to me, and it's not fair to him to compare him to someone like me. Get someone better, please.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for all the super chats. Just as a reminder, we will be reading out future super chats between news stories because we do have some news to get to, quite a bit of it actually. And this first story in our potpourri scattershot approach, Matt, I am so happy you're here for this one. This is perfect timing. And so let's get that up on screen. And of course, Mega Man X Dive finally has a Western launch date of August 16th on iOS and Android. This game's been out for like almost 2 years in other territories. We've been wondering forever, when the hell is it going to come out to other territories? Now we know. August 16th. I have talked more than enough about Mega Man X Dive through various news stories over the past several weeks. So, Matt, I want to get your take. Are you interested at all in mobile Mega Man X, or how are you feeling about this?
Unlike most people who reside here, I am not really a mobile game person. Mm-hmm. But it is Mega Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does help a lot. I've actually been kind of purposely holding off on Dive simply because I wanted to wait for it to have the proper English Western release, because I don't actually like to play games I could have played the Japanese version much sooner, but I actually prefer to play games in their localized form as kind of a way to support my localization homies, number one. Totally. And number two is when, yes, I'm a producer here, but I'm also in charge of our English localization too. So when you do localization for a living, what happens is when you play games in the language you're localizing from, so in my case, Japanese, when I play games in Japanese for too long, it starts to feel like work.
Mm. Because you just want to write it all down and actually translate it.
Yes, sure, I go into localizer mode, and it's harder. It's much harder. It's not impossible, but it's much harder to just kind of enjoy it at face value and just kind of lose yourself in the experience. Because I'm just like, oh, how would I localize that? Or how would I do this? How would I do that? No, I just want to play the game. So,
yeah.
I'm very excited actually for this, and this is when I'll probably succumb and finally download the app on my phone. And we'll see how it goes.
Same. Yeah, I'm right where you are. I'm not a mobile game person very much. Rhythm games, I'll make an exception for sometimes, certain games, but I'm not a mobile gamer. But, look, it's Mega Man X. I want to sync a Bluetooth controller or something to my phone and play it that way. I have no desire to play any Mega Man X game with touch controls, obviously.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, you know what? It is still a new Mega Man X game. It's not the one we all want. Come on, X9, where the hell are you? But it is a new Mega Man X game, and there's a ton of fan service between all the different characters from across the various Mega Man series.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like it. It's giving a lot of love to characters that needed it. So I do appreciate that and what it's accomplishing there. But I think a Bluetooth controller is a foregone necessity to truly enjoying that experience. So. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah. I mean, especially now that I just moved recently, and now I don't use the trains. I'm like one of the weird people in Japan who doesn't have to use the train to get anywhere because I have 2 cars now, and so I don't really have any time for mobile gaming, even if I wanted to. If I'm at home sitting on my couch, I have my big TV with my Switch and PS4 and 10 retro systems. I'm like, why would I play mobile games?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think Steve and Derek and I are all aligned on the fact that our favorite fan service character in X-Dive so far is Bad Mega Man Trigger. Bad Mega Man Walnut. Just the fact that he's got his shades and it's so good.
Oh yeah, he's great. I've seen the screenshots and the art and stuff. I always people I follow in that sphere will talk about it and retweet it and stuff like that. So I see it and I'm just like, okay. That's good.
Exactly.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna check this one out. I don't play mobile games that much, but I'll definitely check this one out, see what it's like, see if I actually get click with the gameplay. I like the fan service, but that's all I know so far.
Is this one pretty gacha heavy?
It is, from what I understand, it's fairly gacha heavy, and as I understand it, it's not the most generous game either. I haven't heard that it's particularly brutal on the gacha side, but it's definitely not one of the more generous games from what I've heard. So, with my luck, what's going to happen is I'm going to get everyone but any version of X, because all I really want at the end of the day is X, or any version of X, and I'll probably get everyone but him is what's going to happen.
You'll get all the cute girl ones, but you won't get any of the Mega Man X ones, guarantee it.
I'll get Zero, I'll get Axel, I'll get classic Mega Man, but I won't get X is totally what'll happen. But we do have a couple of more bite-sized potpourri news stories to mention. Next up is that Super Robot Wars 30 is releasing in the West on Steam on October 27th, and the pre-order is now up for $59.99. And Derek, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about this one because you kind of told me about how relevant this is in terms of this being a licensing nightmare, but I'm not familiar with the series myself.
Something in the back there. There it is.
Yeah, well, the reason is like I mentioned before, I got this gift from Eggroll, and this is Super Robot Wars V translated into English, but it was only released in Singapore because you can't do that. But again, with the Super Robot Wars series, you got mecha anime from across tons of different genres. You got Gundam, you got Getter Robo, you got Evangelion, you got Space Battleship Yamamoto. I think the new one has stuff from Lushiv the Rebellion and stuff like that. Just name a giant fighting robot anime, and they have representation here. It's a strategy RPG, and it's basically a licensing nightmare. And to better give Steve some context for this, although I'm pretty sure he understands, imagine Jump Ultimate Stars actually getting a licensed translation over here, and how all those licensing deals work because all the different characters are in different places. And actually getting an official release, I don't know how they did it. I have no idea how they did it because there's so many different companies.
Frankly. I have some dear friends of mine are super huge fans of Super Robot Wars. One of my friends actually worked on the translation of that game that you were just holding in your hands. So people in my stratosphere are very big Super Robot Wars people, and they are just over the moon and happy, excited that this is a thing that is finally happening, because no one ever thought this was going to happen.
Right.
No.
It sounds insane. As though it is a licensing nightmare. And I remember from my days working at Udon, there were some talks of trying to get some Gundam art books off the ground, and just trying to negotiate those things, from what my boss told me, was incredibly difficult because of the rights issues. So I totally appreciate how much it must have gone into getting this released in the West.
Yeah, licensing conversations are my least favorite ones to interpret for.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been releasing for a long time. Like I think this is the 30th anniversary. I think it was what they're saying.
Yeah,
It
goes back to like Famicom or like Famicom Disc or something like that.
Wow.
And like I saw in the chat, and yes, this is the truth. Like Super Robot Wars T had like Cowboy Bebop in it. Like that's how just all over the place they go. It looks like the series that'll premiere in 30 is SSS Gridman, Brave Police Jade Decker, King of Kings, Go Geiger versus Better Man, Knights and Magic, Mazen Kaiser Infantism, Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion, 3 Glorification. So those are the ones that are premiering in this one. But I saw like they had Magic Knight Ray Earth and
that's a blast from the past. Magic Knight Ray Earth.
Wow. They pull from all over the place. It is crazy. Yeah. if you love your giant robot anime, this is one to look out.
This is the love letter to Mecha.
Magic Knight Ray Earth brings me back though. That was from the old days of me just getting into anime with like VHS tapes that friends would send me of like sub Sailor Moon episodes. I love it, man. That brings me back. That's great.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that hits home. We're like playing like the Magic Knight Ray Earth like Game Gear game. That was a thing.
Right. Really quick, Watcher TL in the YouTube chat says you start with X, I guess, in Mega Man X Dive. So I guess I'm safe. I'll have X. Okay. I'm good to go. Fine.
You have base X.
Fortunately, I don't have to.
Everything else depend on gravy, I guess, after that.
Exactly. Yeah. Hopefully, I'll get Ultimate Armor X at some point. We'll see. All right. Well, then to finish off our potpourri news stories, we're going from a mobile game that I'm relatively excited about to one that just makes me want to cry. And so, for the Bravely Default series' 10th anniversary, Square Enix have announced Bravely Default Brilliant Lights for mobile. Can you tell how excited I sound about that? No, because I'm not. This sucks. I just want Bravely.
Oh no. Hold on, folks. I'm still here. Discord isn't here. But I'm here. What is happening? Can everyone on the stream hear me still? Hello, 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 hello. Okay, everyone can hear me. Thanks. Hold on just a sec, folks. We're working through whatever the heck just happened. Show you something new here. I like that Discord just decided that this conversation was too hot. We are trying to figure out Black Ninja with a $2 donation. Ash's hot takes are too hot for Discord. Apparently, like Discord just decided it was done and it noped the hell out. So let me try to get that back up. Hopefully. Oh my. Let's see. Give me just a sec here, folks. All right, folks, we are going to take a brief intermission while I solve this issue. I will be right back. Give me just a sec. Thanks, everybody.
we go. Perfect.
Woo! We are back. So I've in all of the weird things that have happened during TNT, this is a first one. Basically, Discord just decided that it would have no more of Ash's slander and just crashed hard on my computer. So I tried reopening it like 5 or 6 times and it just wouldn't do it. So quick reboot. We're back. Ash, maybe like pare down your opinions about mobile games just a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, geez, how dare you
I think it's Square Enix or something. It wasn't even mobile games specifically. It was Bravely Default. Was it Brilliant Lights? I believe it is. Yeah. So I was just talking about how. Okay, so for the Bravely Default series' 10th anniversary, we're getting a mobile game. It's called Bravely Default Brilliant Lights. It might be great. I have no problem with that.
It's definitely going to be great. Whoever's listening on Discord,
right. I'm just salty because I've been dabbling in Bravely Default 2 recently, and it's just for me has been such a step down from Bravely 2nd, which I loved to death, and I just want Bravely 3rd. So I'm just being salty. There's no reason to think that Brilliant Lights might not be great. But
it would be a good 10th anniversary project if they ported the Bravely Default and 2nd to the Switch.
That would be really nice.
Yes.
I would really, really appreciate that. Just because, because Bravely Default 2 for me has been a step down in almost every way from the first 2 games. And so here's hoping we do still get a third game.
You still feel that way,
series.
Ash, because I heard a lot of good things about it.
It's still a good game.
Too.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's like crappy. It's just for me, a lot of what I loved about Bravely 2nd was either eliminated or heavily changed in Bravely Default 2. And it just feels like a step down in a few ways to me. But the game is still good, and I don't want to make it sound like I think it's terrible or anything. I'm very opinionated on it.
I'm actually watching the trailer for the first time for this mobile game, and it honestly looks pretty decent.
It looks nice. I watched it earlier too.
It looks nice for sure. I know. My fiance and I actually we were playing through Bravely Default 2 together. We finished it about a couple weeks ago, and I really liked it. Yeah, like I personally actually never got to finish Bravely 2nd because I was not. She did, so I kind of know what happens. I played the first one all the way through, but I actually really enjoyed Bravely 2nd. So when we saw this because my fiance is not a mobile gamer either, but she loves the Bravely series is like in like the absolute like upper echelon of games for her. So she was kind of like new Bravely thing. Oh,
yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling about it too. So it is,
she's an Edie super fan. So, but Edie is in it, so she's very happy.
Awesome. Exactly. So hopefully, it's 10th anniversary, happy 10th anniversary, Bravely Default. Hopefully, we get more non-mobile stuff later down the line. But as mobile RPGs go, as you said, Derek, this is looking pretty good. All right, I'm going to blast through these donations because we still have news to talk about. We're running late due to the technical mishaps. So. Bongo Lover, $2 Canadian. Steve and Bongo bathe their bath in a tub of yogurt. That sounds like the start of a song or a rhyme. Steve and Bongo sitting in a tree, bathing in a tub of yogurt or something.
No, sir.
Not going to happen.
I don't think Steve likes the yogurt in the best of days, so yeah.
$2 from Black Ninja saying Ash's hot takes are too hot for Discord. Apparently they are. Maybe they were too hot for Square Enix and they were watching and they cut our stream or something. Joseph Bayer with $4.99. Quick, while nobody's here, everybody donate, which it seems like everybody did. So thank you for that, Joseph. Yeah. $5 more from Black Ninja. Saying, will Ash's hot takes make a return after Discord goes down? Find out next time on GVG. Well, they did return. Spoiler alert, they did come back. I was still talking slight crap about Bravely Default going mobile. Next is Green Hunter 47 with $2 saying, sure. I think in response to Joseph's everybody donate comment. So thank you, Green Hunter. Finally, Bongo Lover with $2 more Canadian saying it was the Boss Baby again. Yeah, it could be all my Boss Baby slander. Who knows? That might be the reason why our stream went down.
How dare you?
With that said, we do have
one last one from Joseph Bayer at the $4.99 donation. So when does the Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl predictions discussion go up?
You know what? That would be a fun one to do.
That would be kind of fun, honestly.
Yeah, no, I think we should definitely do that. That's something we'll keep that in our back pocket to post on a rainy day and record and post on a rainy day. Thank you, everybody, so much for all your donations. But we do have some news to get to. The first major story of which being exactly that, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. So let's get that up on screen. And I don't have to tell you all how hype I am for this. I love Smash. You all know that. Smash is my jam. And now we have Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl announced yesterday with a reveal trailer. It's coming to all platforms. It is a platform fighter, very Smash-esque, of course. And it's 14 characters have been revealed so far on the in the reveal trailer. I'm just going to run through them really quickly for y'all here so we can get a discussion going. We've got Mikey and Leo from the Ninja Turtles, the original 80s cartoon, by the way. Nigel Thornberry from the Wild Thornberries, Powdered Toast Man from Ren and Stimpy, SpongeBob from SpongeBob, Sandy Cheeks and Patrick Star, both from SpongeBob, Oblina from Real Monsters.
Hell yeah.
Holy crap. Yeah, right? Lucy Loud from the Loud House, Lincoln Loud from the Loud House, Helga from Hey Arnold, hell yes, Reptar from Rugrats, Zim from Invader Zim, and Danny Phantom from Danny Phantom, of course. Y'all, this is awesome. I feel like we're all kind of in the same age group. We all grew up probably on Nicktoons. This is right?
Absolutely.
This is so cool, and I cannot wait.
Like it's just like it's the thing we didn't know we wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly,
and
right? That's the thing that just caught me off guard is that this thing came out. I'm like, when I first saw it come out, I was like, oh, it's just another licensed game. Because there's a Cartoon Network one that got no traction whatsoever. We've seen Nickelodeon have kart racers before. Never been any traction. It's just one of those things like, yeah, the Nickelodeon crossover game. Nobody cares. But something about this game, the trailer, the gameplay, and honestly, its developer pedigree, which I believe they worked on Slap Fight.
yeah.
I think it was
or
what it's
Slap
called.
City, I think it's called.
Slap City, that's it.
Slap City.
Slap City, sorry. That's the big thing, is apparently the developer has a great pedigree, and I've looked at their old stuff, and yeah, they've done some really good things. And apparently we have a perfect storm of, hey, this might actually be good.
Yeah, and as Helen, hey, it's Dingo in the live audience chat says, the game is going to have rollback netcode, that's not something even actual Smash has.
I
so
know,
that's
right?
Really cool that they're going to have rollback, and apparently wave dashing is going to be in, which could be a good or bad thing, depending. I go a little bit on both ways on that, but I mean, look, I think I figured, like, I don't think I thought that if there ever was like a Nickelodeon Smash-like game, that they would be pulling from legacy franchises the way they are. And I think that's what's got me so excited. Like, I'll fully admit, like, the Loud House means nothing to me. SpongeBob means very little to me. Yeah, I've never even heard of Loud House. But then if you're giving
it's a very popular modern Nickelodeon cartoon. So
yeah, so like, and I'm glad that's there for all the modern Nickelodeon fans. But like, I grew up with Rugrats and Hey Arnold and Doug and all this stuff. So to see Oblina, like, I never thought they'd ever bring back Real Monsters in anything.
Real Monsters, I think, is the one that surprises me the most.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe we'll even get Ickis and Crumb in there. Who knows? Like, that's so cool. I'm not crossing my fingers for Doug because I know he's caught up in a lot of rights issues with Disney.
I think he's mostly owned by Disney.
Yeah.
Now.
But
plus,
I'll tell you who I am.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Doug, so although beating him up would be nice. I've never liked Doug.
Wow, ouch. Damn. Okay. Wow. Okay, Roger Klotz.
That was Roger Klotz right out of my mouth.
Nice. Sorry, I'm thinking of Doug now and Roger and his ridiculous voice. But I'll tell you who I am crossing my fingers for genuinely is Rocco.
Oh, yeah.
Rocco's modern life in this
Honestly,
game.
Angry Beavers. I want the Angry Beavers in there.
Yep, Angry Beavers, Cat Dog, which may have been leaked already, not leaked,
not leaked
by the box art. Yeah, not leaked.
That is another thing we should mention. Just before we started, I saw that on Kotaku that the box art for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl has been revealed and basically confirms a bunch of other characters, including Korra, Ren and Stimpy, Cat and Cat Dog, maybe Aang as well. We have a hand coming out. It looks like Aang's hand. So we probably have Aang in there as well, which I was going to predict in the first place. But there's also like another character with an actual sneaker on underneath Patrick. I don't know who that could be, but we got some more characters, and that's pretty cool.
It's just so weird to even be talking about this, like trying to figure out who the silhouettes of various Nickelodeon characters are for this upcoming Smash-like game. And I'm already excited. I'm already pretty much sold on this. But look, if you just give me the other two Ninja Turtles and Rocco and any combination of Aang and Katara and Korra, I'm good. Like,
you're already covered.
I feel like I have to remind you guys that this is a Nickelodeon game.
It is. That's the thing.
No, I'm not expecting it to be
I just
like
want
an
everybody
amazing
to be
game.
real clear that this is probably at best like a 6 out of 10 game. Like, don't go into this expecting Smash levels of polish. Like, you're not going to get it.
Of course,
you know.
No.
That, I mean, a 6 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10 can still be a really fun game. Like, I play games that most people would consider bad games like all the time, and I love them. You know, it's you know, I worry because I see the level of hype for this, and I by and large expect that a lot of those folks that are really hyping this up are expecting something on par with Smash. And I'm like, that's not going to happen.
Probably not. But wouldn't it be funny if it did?
Oh, man, if it did, it would be wild. Like, that's the thing that I think is so funny. You know, we talk a lot about how great Smash is on this channel, on this show. And, you know, I would have thought back in the day that PlayStation All-Stars, before we knew about all the mechanical foibles that game had going on, I would have expected, you know, a company with the funding that Sony can provide could make a game very comparable to Smash. And it proved that, you know, what Sakurai and his team are doing is something very special and rare. Like, I've played a lot of Smash-alikes in my day, but none of them quite capture the same level of fun and intensity as that game. I'm not expecting this one to either, but I think what will carry this one is that the roster is a bunch of characters that a lot of us grew up with and have emotional attachments to in one way or another. So for me, that's really what makes this game for me. It's characters that I definitely had written off as ever being in a video game. Like, I didn't expect to play a fighting game with Powdered Toast Man in it in 2021, you know? So I'm excited for that. You know, I'm wondering how much of his butt cheek related repertoire will be available in the game.
Probably more than you'd expect.
I'm hopeful for Ren and Stimpy. I think that if you got Powdered Toast Man, you have to have Ren and Stimpy in there.
Oh, but I can tell you, Ren and Stimpy are in here. I see their outlines.
I agree that I see their outlines, but I just, you know, I'm not going to out and out confirm anything until Nickelodeon does, just because I don't want to, again, I don't want to overhype things without any actual proof that, you know. But I'm excited to play. I think some folks have played this already. I might have misread, but I thought I saw a handful of previews for this. Like,
oh, really?
I think IGN and Kinda Funny got to go hands-on with this already.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know it's apparently, because I am curious now.
Apparently, it's based on a heavily modified version of the Slap City engine, and I've heard good things about Slap City. But I'm like you, Steve. You know, I've played a few of the Smash alikes out there, like Brawlhalla and all those, and I always bounce off them. They're not for me. I would always just rather play Smash. That said, you know, while I do agree that I think Rob Armanex puts perfectly in our live audience chat, it's going to be jank, but goddamn, this roster is so hyped so far. And I think that's what it comes down to. I don't think the game's going to be anywhere near as good as Smash, but that roster is just going to make it a fun party game anyway. Just the novelty of taking 80s, you know, era Ninja Turtles and pitting them against Oblina and Reptar and shit. That's awesome.
I cannot wait to go in this game. Yep. I can't wait to grab Reptar and just slap the unibrow off of Helga. Like that. I remember watching Hey Arnold and be like, somebody just hit her already. Like, please. My time has come. 20 years in the making. She'll get hers.
So I looked at this. I looked on IGN and they have nothing. They have no hands-on. So I don't think anybody's gone hands-on with the game yet.
I'll have to take a look. Yeah, I could be wrong. I was reading Twitter, which, I mean, don't get your news from Twitter.
Dare you?
I'm a bad example, but I could have sworn that I saw at least Kinda Funny maybe play, or maybe they were just debating about playing it. I don't know, but I could have sworn that I saw Greg hyping up a match between Blessing and someone else in this game.
It's probably just because fans. It is fans talking about this, like,
or they also could be talking about playing Slap City.
True.
And just, you know, and comparing it to that.
Evernight asked if we'll be doing a review of this game. I would love to see Ash review this game, as someone who is both uniquely tied to some of the characters in the game and probably the biggest Smash fan on the panel. I feel like it is Ash's sworn duty to review this.
Probably. Yeah, this will probably be a me game. Man, Matt, sorry, I feel like we've been talking over you. Was there anything you wanted to hype about specifically about Nick All-Stars?
No, not specifically. I was just saying, like, it kind of like you were alluding to. It just reminds me of some of the Smash-like games that have come out over the years. Have any of you guys? It reminded me of one very specifically, like it just kind of like a total crossover, completely unrelated stuff. It was an import-only game. It's called Dream Mix TV. You ever heard of that game?
I've heard of that.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, it's like that one that came out. It was like Konami, Hudson, and then like Takara Tomy.
Right. Dream Mix TV World Fighters.
And Bomberman and stuff like that, like all in the same game. It was so weird.
Yeah, you could have a Bomberman fight Optimus Prime. It was wild.
Yes. So it kind of reminded me of that.
Nice. Which I hear is fun. But again, licensing nightmare.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Really quick, before we move on, roundtable, we all get one character to put into this game, whoever you want, obviously within reason, being Nickelodeon. Matt, I'm going to start with you. If you could pick any character to be in this game.
Can you come back? I got to think about one for a second. Come to me last.
All right, Derek, you're up.
I've already said mine, I even on Twitter, where I want to see the Angry Beavers work as like a Nana and Popo situation, ice climbers.
Nice.
Have them work together. Real quick, I do also want to mention just a wonderful idea from a good friend of the show, Kaylin. Her husband was talking about, if Aggro Crag's not a level, this game fails.
Ooh,
basically.
Right.
The Aggro Crag as a level would be awesome.
Speaking of the levels, there's a small clip in the trailer that shows the Technodrome, and it's looking badass.
Yes.
It's looking so cool. Oh, man. Steve, what about you, man?
I've got two.
Okay.
So, one, I have to have Ickis from Our Real Monsters as well. Like, he's the main character. He's got to be there. And I want Ed Bighead. Like, just his voice. Like, I don't know what it is about his voice, but I've always just loved it. So, any game where I'd get a chance to hear him scream at things, I would take that chance. So, yeah, Ed Bighead for sure.
I love it. All right. I guess I'll go then. Well, if you get two, Steven, I get two. Obviously, Rocco. But the other one I'm going to put forth is not Aang, not Korra, not Zuko, and not even Toph. It's Katara, because she's a fucking awesome waterbender, and I want to play as her in this game. So Rocco and Katara are, because I'm assuming Donnie and Raph are going to get. There's no way they're going to only have half.
I don't know. They might just pick and choose from a couple of them.
That would be weird. All right, Matt. It's on you, man.
It's so funny. Like, the first thing I didn't think of was actually characters. Like, the first thing I thought of was, like, wouldn't it be cool if, like, some of, like, the stages were, like, throwbacks to, like, old Nick game shows?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
A Nickelodeon Gut stage, like a Nick Arcade stage.
Yes.
That would be so awesome.
That would be
traveling Nick Arcade final level, that final challenge that every kid failed at. That'd be amazing.
I mean, what if there are assist trophies in this game?
I need
a dude from You Can't Do That on Television that would like flick his boogers on you. Like, have any of you ever seen that show?
I don't think I have.
I don't remember much of it. It was on when I was very young. It only ran until 1990. But, like, there was this guy, I'm not going to emulate it because it's fucking gross, but it was a real live-action person, and he would say, die, heard that, and he would, like, flick a booger out of his nose as he finished the sentence, at a child. And I was like,
at a child.
Yeah, it was always kids, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't remember a ton about that show because I was a very young boy when I watched it, but that seared into my memory. Like, I remember the look of that guy to this day. Because I remember thinking
Man was based off of.
Yeah, what? Maybe.
I just remember
that's who Booger
really
Man was based off of. Yeah.
Go ahead, Derek.
Meltman from Action League Now. Get him in there.
Nice. All I know is if there are assist trophies, Olmec has got to be one of them. I either want to see Olmec as an assist trophy or as a stage hazard in a Legends of the Hidden Temple stage, which also obviously would include Temple Guard stage hazards. D. Bradley Baker has to do the voice. This game is not going to be, as you were saying, Steve, nearly as good as we are hyped about it. But just the idea of the characters we could see in this game is so cool to think about. And
it is.
I'm looking forward to it.
Regardless of how
we can get sequels with more characters.
Yeah, regardless of how this game pans out, it's a day one purchase for me. Like, I will buy it just because of the wacky roster. I never got to pick up the game Matt was talking about, but I did recently get my hands on a copy of Battle Stadium DON for the GameCube.
I had that too.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is also like a Smash clone that is not nearly as good, but I mean, it's got Goku, Luffy, and Naruto in it. Like, how could you pass that up?
So, I mean, that's literally DON. It's Dragon Ball, One Piece, Naruto.
Yep. Yeah. It is an awesome game because of its roster.
Yes.
Right.
And that's early roster too. There's so many more characters for each of those.
Yeah.
Well, I know we could easily talk about this for the rest of the show, but we actually do have other news to get onto and a lot more super chats. You guys are all way too generous. Holy crap. All right, let's do this. So first off is $5 from Green Hunter 47 saying Nigel Thornberry is playable. That's all that needs to be said. This game is going to be a masterpiece. Smashing. Hell yeah. No, that's, Nigel Thornberry, all these other characters. It's awesome. Colin Douglas with $4.99 saying definitely going to main Aang or Zuko. Same here, man. Especially if Katara's in, I'm going to main her. Like, I can't wait to play as Avatar characters in this game, assuming they're in it, which I think they will be. $2 from Lizard81288 saying, I guess Reptar wasn't too big after all. Clearly talking about Ridley here. Nice. Nathan, the voice actor, with $10 saying, with Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl being a thing, you'll finally have the chance for Sora joining a platform fighter since he won't be added to Smash. Love you, Ash. Looking forward to Fall Guys on Saturday. We have a whole thing going on where Nate keeps telling me Sora, my last remaining dream character, is not going to be added to Smash. I'm still keeping hope alive, 1% chance, but there is no chance he'll be in this game. So if he doesn't get into Smash, he's not going to be in this game. So we'll see what happens.
I would love it if he was.
That would be funny.
Yeah. But yes, and of course, Fall Guys on a Saturday, we have a Fight of Founders session together. I'm looking forward to that, Nate. Thank you. Brian Rivera with $4.99 saying, you think Rob Paulson, meaning my dad, will be in this game, not as Donatello, Raphael, and Carl, but as himself.
That'd be funny.
I don't think they're going to have Rob Paulson as himself in this game's roster. Probably not. For what it's worth, I have asked my dad if he has been approached about recording for this, and he said no. So that doesn't confirm anything either way.
It's
but
voice
take
clips.
that as you will.
If we get anything, it's going to be voice clips.
Yeah, exactly. So, take that as you will. It's not confirming anything either way, but you better believe that was the first thing I did after I found out about this game. I was like, Dad, do you know about this? And then, of course, he said no, and I'm like, oh, that sucks. All right. $2.99 from Neo saying Ren and Stimpy Ice Climber style. I think we all agree that would be awesome to see.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything Ice Climber style.
Yeah. $2 from Jaden Buck saying Henry and June from Kablam for All-Star Brawl. I'm not going to lie. I don't know of them. Or
Kablam is what was Action League now. It's a kind of a variety thing where they had a couple of mini shows from different. So it was a fun one. I liked it.
Gotcha. Oh my God, they're coming in faster than I can read them. Jeez.
Oh
no. Where is it?
Next one is Tommy. Okay, you got it?
Yeah, got it. Tommy Dinoth's Archives with $5 Canadian. With Nick All-Star Brawl being a thing, maybe my dreams of Ariana Grande and Smash will be a reality. You can play as her in a Final Fantasy mobile game, right?
Play Record Keeper.
Yeah, Record Keeper. So there you go. Bongo Lover with $2 Canadian. Sakurai has been real quiet since the announcement of Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. I don't get all those people saying that this is going to be a Smash killer. It's not, but it's going to be its own.
Not in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
$9.99 from Super Dank Awesome Unicorn Guy saying Steve is right. I don't trust Nickelodeon to fairly balance Gustavo from Big Time Rush or the sneaker underneath Patrick in the box art. What a weird. I love that we could even read a comment like this. I love this speculation. KSO0514 with $4.99 saying Loud House is notable for having canonically LGBT characters. Also, if Korra is in, then so should Asami be. That's awesome. I didn't know that about Loud House. So that's really cool that they're not only, that the show is doing that, but that there's some characters from Loud House in this game. That's really neat. Thanks for letting us know.
Very cool.
100 Mexican pesos, I believe, from Moon Ghost Doodles, saying, I think the hypest thing from this is the prospect of Disney or Cartoon Network again attempting at making a Smash clone of their own, hopefully with polish. Finally able to donate on stream. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you very much, Moon Ghost Doodles. Really appreciate it. And I think we're hoping for the same thing. We're, not expecting this to be anywhere as polished as Smash, but we're hoping for it to be as polished as possible. So We'll see what happens. Skull Kid Tiger with $5 saying, want a Power Rangers rep. Will fight founder Ash TMNT versus Power Rangers? If so, I swear loser downs Danimals. And remember, apparently I said this, Sonic 06 is a good game. Ash 2021, fight me. I didn't say that, anybody. Thank you very much, Skull Kid Tiger.
I took it out of context.
Yeah. $2 from
animals. I'm sorry. It's like the second time.
Yeah, I keep meaning to. Yeah, I should explain this to you. So, Bongo the Danimals monkey was recently added to Sonic Dash, the mobile game, as a playable character.
Wait, what? Like for real?
For real. It's like a real thing. I don't know if he's available anymore, but it was like a thing that was hyped up. Like you can now play as Bongo the Danimals monkey, and we reported on that.
Obviously.
Yeah, as of course, right? The most obvious crossover. And we reported on it just because it was a funny WTF story, but it is the joke and the meme that just keeps on will not die. It's been like the mainstay of the show.
Yeah,
there's
our
there
boy
it is.
Right there.
Oh my God. That is
How weird is that? Isn't that weird?
Like, why?
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot, Matt, there are a lot of guest characters in Mighty Gunvolt Burst. Maybe you need to start, open up a channel with Danimals.
Reach out to Danimals.
Yeah, I'm not reaching out to enough companies. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, right? Let's see. $2 from Nothing saying, hope for really, really big man from RML. I apologize. I'm not sure what RML is. Do any of you know?
I do not know.
I'm trying to think because I know RML.
I know the name really, really big man, but...
Google Foo?
Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco's Modern Life. Think about that. Really, really big. Okay, yeah. It's been too long since I've watched that show all the way through, of course.
He is also in the special that came out a couple years back, I think.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Which was really good, by the way.
I pride myself in my esoteric cartoon knowledge, so not knowing that was really driving me nuts. So it's like I'm going to get this before chat.
And also $2 more from Nothing saying, gazed into my nipples of the future. I don't know if that's the voice that goes with that, but that just seemed like the right voice to read that in.
It's close
Thank you. Nothings. Master of Hamsters with $2 saying, we need Kappa Mikey. We need all versions of all the Ninja Turtles. Hell yeah. And finally, John Polish Impossible.
You don't even know what that is, do you, Ash?
No, I don't.
Kappa Mikey is about an American kid going to Japan and being in a show with a bunch of anime drawn characters.
I totally thought it was I thought it was like a reference to a Ninja Turtles thing. I wasn't.
To be honest, I totally thought so too, man.
Fair enough.
I'm not the only one.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Nice.
We were all bamboozled.
Yeah, awesome. John Polish Impossible to say with $10 saying, hi, Papa. Always love your hanging at NTHQ streams. Want to ask, with similarities between Fester's Quest and Blaster Master in terms of the enemies and weapons, does it exist in Blaster Master Zero's continuity? You've tied in a lot already. You're on the spot here, man.
Yeah, Fester's, I would probably have to say no, simply because, we haven't paid for the Addams Family license. So.
Fair enough.
You do not dance with danger when it comes to just willy-nilly using licensed stuff. But one of the things I do love about the Blaster Master Zero games, and this is especially prominent in BMZ2, is all the references to other Sunsoft games. It's like... BMZ2 is basically a giant love letter to Sunsoft properties. So if you can spot all the Sunsoft references in BMZ2, you are definitely a Sunsoft enthusiast for sure.
Awesome. I love it. Well, thank you again to everyone for your incredible generosity.
Seriously.
There's so many super chats, it's hard to get through them all. But we do have a few more news stories to talk about. So let's go ahead and move on to the next story in our arsenal.
Wow.
I've been working on that one. So Atlus have opened a special website for Persona's upcoming 25th anniversary, teasing no less than 7 new projects. And these are going to be announced over a long period of time. So the first announcement is set for September, which is Persona's actual 25th anniversary. And the last one is set for autumn 2022. There's also been just a huge smattering of Persona 25th anniversary merch revealed too. And Derek, I have a feeling you're definitely the biggest Persona fan, or at least the hardest core Persona fan out of all of us. So I want to throw this one to you. What about this has got you most excited so far?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are wondering if they're going to announce Persona 6. I think that's the big thing because they have one image where it's all the protagonists, and even the ones from Personas 1 and 2, Part 1 and Part 2, Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment, as well as Persona 3 Portable's female protagonist, Katone. So they have just every single protagonist in that, and then, of course, Secret at the end there, which is fueling speculation of a sixth game that's going to get announced. Along the same lines, they have these acrylic stands going over all of those games, including Portable and, again, Innocent Sin, Eternal Punishment, and even Persona 4 Golden and Persona 5 Royal, and then 2 secret acrylic stands. So what is that all about? What are they doing here with these games? It feels like there's something big coming with this, especially with there being 7 announcements. It could be offhand projects like, here's another anime. Like I think they had a Persona 4 Golden anime, so maybe they'll do a Persona 5 Royal anime. Something like that. Or maybe a lot of people have wondered if we're going to get a Persona 5 fighter like we did for Persona 4. It's hard to say. Of course, a lot of people are hoping for ports of the old ones to systems, which would be very nice, especially for some of the harder to find ones, because you want to play Persona 1, 2 or 3, or 1 or 2, really. You had to deal with the PSP remakes, and even then, we only got one of the Persona 2 remakes. So all of the games are available in English, but you have to play Persona 2, I think it's Innocent Sin, on PSP, and Eternal Punishment on original PS1. So it's pretty wild, and I think it's just exciting because, again, with 7 new projects, it's kind of like the Dragon Quest thing. Like, we saw there's so many announcements they have coming out. What could they be? And I don't know. We'll find out. But it's definitely cool for Persona fans, and I'd love to see them push more of the series, especially with Persona 4 Golden doing so well on Steam, and of course Persona 5 just doing well in general.
Yeah, I was thinking of the comparison to the Dragon Quest event as well, but I'm hoping that it isn't like that, in the sense that we get these announcements that sound really cool, and then it's like Japan only, though, not a worldwide release planned. Matt, are you a big Persona fan, man?
No, as much as it pains me to say this, especially because I have some good friends who work at Atlus, I have not played the Persona games.
Gotcha.
Hey, I'm right there with
they're
you.
Also, I mean, they take like 100 hours for when you feel like Persona 5, and
I just barely have time to play, like sit down and really dig into an RPG, and it's very intimidating because I know they're good games, but they do take a very long time, and it's very intimidating to know I'm gonna have to dedicate that much time to it.
Right.
It's one of those things, because I feel that it took me basically the better part of a year to beat Persona 5, and I did have that pull to it's been so long since I played, I should just restart. Like, nope, that's a trap. I'll never finish it if I restart.
It's like I'll go a couple weeks, and then I'm like, what was I doing before? Oh no, I forgot. I guess I better restart. And then
you can't do that. You got to push through just a little bit at a time. I think it'll pull you in. It's actually pretty good at having feel like you can accomplish something in an hour or two, or see something interesting.
That's good to know, because I mean, I would absolutely love to really sink my teeth into them at some point. It's just another one on the grand list of games.
I feel that.
Right. How possible do we think that it is that one of these 7 announcements could finally be either Persona 4 or 4 Golden or 5 Royal coming to Switch? Do we think that's even possible for any of these?
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like it's smart.
I agree with Derek. It's a very smart decision. I will be the first to admit that the reason I haven't played 5 is because it's not on the Switch. There was a point during which everyone assumed it was coming, and I was definitely one of those folks, and I waited, and then the game passed me by. I was like, well, I've waited a year or more for it to be on Switch. I'm just not gonna play it now. I don't have the time. And like Matt said, when I sit down and I think about playing a 100-hour RPG, I'm like, man, I could finish 10 smaller games in that amount of time.
Exactly.
And that's just, that appeals to me more. But that is somewhat negated by the idea of playing it on a portable, because then I'm like, oh, well, you know what? I have it on this little handheld device. I don't have to sit down on my couch, fire up the TV, and do all this other stuff. I can literally engage with it in a more passive way. And if it's just sitting there on my Switch home screen, I'm more likely to fiddle with it, you know, when I'm just doing other stuff like watching TV or whatever.
Right.
But, and I've said this before on the show, Persona 5 originally released on the PS3. So, yeah, you can absolutely get it running on the Switch. I don't care what you say. If I can get Doom Eternal running on the Switch, Witcher 3, stuff like that, they can port Persona 5. I'm certain that it would not take nearly as many compromises as other games would to get on there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think the getting any of those games onto Switch obviously makes sense. It's really a wonder that it hasn't happened yet, and that's why I just wonder if maybe somehow it will continue not to happen for any number of dumb reasons. But it seems like it's just a slam dunk.
Yeah,
so many people want these games on the Switch.
The Switch has created just such a great atmosphere for ports.
Yeah.
That I would be honestly be shocked if they didn't dedicate one of these 7 announcements to Switch something. Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, personally, I like even more than Persona 5, I think I would really like to see Persona 4 Gold imported to the Switch. Because that, to my mind, I did all the Persona art books at Udon, so while I have played a lot of P4, I haven't really played any Persona game through to its entirety. And I would love the chance to have Persona 4 Golden specifically on the Switch in that portable context, because that, at least based on doing all the art books and having watched the various animes and familiarizing myself with each character and all the characters and worlds and stuff, P4 is still my favorite, especially character-wise. So that is really the one I'd love to see come to Switch more than any other, if I had a choice. But really, I'd just like all of them to come to Switch. That would be really nice.
I mean, P4 originally came out on what? PS2, didn't it? Or am I making that
easy?
Was that
P3 and P4 came out on PS2.
Yeah, that's wild to think that.
Yeah,
God.
so in terms of it's definitely possible in terms of it's not too powerful for the Switch. Clearly, I guess it's more of getting the source code and will it play nice with porting to the Switch or not, and how many trials and tribulations come with the porting process, because it's different depending on the engine that they use and all kinds of stuff. So, porting, I can speak for this firsthand. Porting, it may seem it's just do the thing. Depending on, may seem obvious, why don't you just port everything to everything? Well, it's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of time. And depending on the engine that your game is created with, can determine if it will play nice with modern systems. I know, for example, Unreal Engine 3, some early PS4 games, PS3 games, stuff like that use Unreal Engine 3. Unreal Engine 3 doesn't really play nice with the Switch.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have stuff like that, just as an example, that can really make the porting process a challenge. But not impossible from what I understand. So, we'll see what happens.
Right. Wait, so you're telling me that when the internet told me that it isn't just a big red port game button, they lied? It isn't just as easy as pressing a button and it all ports automatically?
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I'm
It is
totally shocked.
False to the internet, they shocked me too, but sometimes you gotta accept reality, Ash. We gotta accept
Right.
The more I look at this, the more I'm kind of hopeful for ports of the first. When I say 3 games, I mean Persona 1, 2, and 2 Part 1 and 2 Part 2 through there. Just seeing the characters hang out, kind of all being in the same general art style for the first time, at least that I'm aware of, and seeing Katone there. I'm actually I'd love to see if instead of Persona 6 would be awesome, but after playing Persona 3, the original, boy, it needs some catching up to do. It is, and there's no definitive version. So a remake, fixing a lot of problems of Persona 3 and bringing it up to Persona 5 in terms of visual qualities and all the great stuff they've done with it, that would be amazing. Because it is a really good plot dealing with some heavy subjects with some great plot twists, but the pacing is really not great. So if they could find a way to fix that and make a definitive version, especially since they have, all these really good additions to with Portable, but it's not the definitive definitive experience. That said, if we do get Persona 6, I really hope they have both a male and female protagonist, because it's wonderful in Persona 3, and to see them pull that off. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it work.
Same, and I also hope I've certainly heard about P5's problematic treatment of LGBTQ plus characters from a distance, and I really hope
that's the series, man.
Well, yeah, no, and that's true. That's not just, you're right. Actually, yeah, 4 is really bad about that too. And I just really hope that P6, like Atlus, figures that out and does better. Like, as much as I want to love this series, and I do for a lot of different reasons, that's a huge blemish on it for me. And I really hope Atlus...
The localization of P5 Royal helped that scene.
Yes, I heard about that. Yeah. But I know Yosuke 4 is really bad about that. Really
what was that,
bad.
Matt?
As a localization, and working in localization, that can always be a tough nut to crack sometimes, because if you see something that you feel is problematic from the original source material, there's a million different ways you can go about, do you have the power, do the localizers have the power to change that or edit that to their liking or not? So hopefully, if that sort of thing happens again, hopefully it doesn't, but hopefully it's something that happens again, they have more avenues to correct that.
I'm seeing a lot of people mention that the director, the person who did this, Hashino, took over the series with P3 onwards, and he's since left. So,
and that could really help, because I know Katsura Hashino was apparently the source of some of that stuff.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with the series. I had to look it up just because when I made the comment that Persona 5 originally released on PS3, I was like, how old is that game? And so I had to look it up. It's been 5 years almost since Persona 5 came out in Japan. It released in September of 2016. So, I mean, even though Persona 5 feels fresh, I mean, I would say we're about due for at least the announcement of a follow-up, like a proper...
Yeah, I can see that.
Right. Neozon in our YouTube chat says Persona 5 Arena is probably one of the reveals, likely for PS5, PS4, PC. I could totally see that. I know P4 Arena was received quite well, alongside Ultimax too, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a P5 fighting game be one of these upcoming announcements. But either way, what we can say for sure is that Persona fans are going to be eating for the next many months.
Basically a year.
yeah, all the way through autumn 2022. So we'll see what the first announcement is coming up in September. But until then, happy 25th anniversary, Persona and Persona fans. Before we move on to our next news story, though, we do have a few more super chats. God, you guys are so generous. First off is $5 from Maddie saying Dragon Ball Z Kai aired on Nicktoons in the early 2010s. Goku is very possible.
I'm not going to
say very. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not going to say very possible. I'm going to say there's an outside chance.
It does.
That would be. Can you imagine though? After all the Goku and Smash, this, that, Goku and Smash, he actually did get into.
This is where he ends up. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, that would be like Cloud ending up in Smash instead of PlayStation All Stars, just in a different weird way, but it would be similarly weird. Steve, how would you feel if Goku got into Nick All Stars?
Man, I don't know. It's not about wanting Goku just in a fighting game. I mean, Goku's in dozens of fighting games. I want Goku fighting other characters, other video game characters that I really like. I get that the Goku and Smash thing is definitely a meme, but I mean, Smash has become almost a repository for all of my favorite characters. So having Goku there alongside all the video game characters I love would be really cool to see. But if I don't want him in Nick All-Stars. I'll play Battle Stadium DON or Jump Ultimate Stars or Jump Superstars, both of which are awesome games which should have gotten Western releases. I'll play in one of the many other Goku-related fighting games if that's the fix I'm looking for. I don't need him beating up on the Rugrats or anything like that.
God, such a weird visual.
I think Helga could kick his ass.
Who?
Yeah.
I think Helga could kick his ass. Just saying.
Oh yeah,
she'd find a way.
Yeah, she would.
Her wrath knows no bounds.
Javier Fuentes with a $9.99 donation saying, greetings from El Salvador. Wow. Not gonna lie, the Persona anniversary is my most anticipated. Persona 4 Golden is my favorite game of all time. Really hoping for a Switch port to render my PlayStation TV obsolete. Well, thank you so much, all the way from El Salvador. Thank you so much for supporting our channel, for supporting TNT. And yeah, I think we'd all be really happy with P4 Golden getting ported to Switch. So fingers crossed that happens. And thank you again, Javier. Thank you. $2 from Watcher TL saying the first Persona 25th teaser square is yellow, which, as we all know, yellow is Persona 4's kind of, base color. So that could point to a P4 announcement. We'll see. Thank you, Watcher. Vedran Hotek with a $5 donation saying, I'm one of the biggest Persona fans. P4G is like one of my all-time favorite games, and now is the time for remasters/ports and Persona 6. It sure seems that way. I can't imagine we'd have 7 whole announcements to get through, and a P4 port isn't one of them. So, again, here's hoping. Nathan, the voice actor, with $5 more saying, hey, everyone, Persona fanatic here. P4G is my favorite JRPG. So many people saying that. So, question, favorite characters and songs. Here's hoping for P4G on consoles. Once like we all want the same thing. Well, Derek, I'll throw this to you first, man. Favorite P4 characters and songs?
Well, that's the thing. I've only played up to was it June? No, I'm blanking on his name. Blonde-haired guy, blonde-haired punk. It's been
Kanji.
It's been a while, huh?
Kanji.
I've only played up a Kanji, never actually beat the game. I've played and beaten Persona 3 and vanilla Persona 5, but not all of Persona 4. So I'm a little foggy on the songs as far as that goes. As far as favorite, as far as characters, I was definitely a fan of Chie. Now I see Rob Armaniac screaming Chie. You can't not love Chie.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I was actually gonna say that as well. Sorry.
They're apparently referring Persona characters in general. If we're going Persona characters in general, I'm sorry, Makoto.
There you go. For me, don't worry, Rob Armaniac. You don't even have to shout it from the rooftops. Chie is obviously the best girl. Chie is my favorite Persona character. Definitely. I just adore her. She's awesome. In terms of songs, there's so many good ones, right? Again, I'm mostly
Rivers in the Desert
from...
is really good.
Huh?
Rivers in the Desert is really good.
Right.
And it hits in just a perfect way.
Reach Out to the Truth, I'll Face Myself. There are so many good Persona songs. We could have a whole discussion only about Persona music. Time to Make History. Those are just a few off the top of my head. Burn My Dread. Just a few off the top of my head that I really like. But yes, thank you for all the donations, everybody. We also have Ryan Domaluski, Ryan Domaluski with $5 saying, fun fact about Persona pre-Hashino. Persona 2 Innocent Sin has a canon bisexual main character who has a possible gay romance option, which isn't played as a joke. Well, that's surprisingly forward-thinking of them for being, a much older game. It's a shame that they kind of got derailed.
I've seen chat in the patron chat also mentioned that apparently some of the monsters, when you go to recruit them, can be homophobic when you go try to recruit them.
Yikes.
So,
I see.
So it's like there's some positives. There's some I guess it's realistic having to deal with homophobic people, but
here's the thing. I think about I don't think it's necessarily bad to portray bad people. I don't know. You're not always going to run into. I would expect a monster or a demon to have bad takes on things,
it's true. Yeah.
Your run-of-the-mill monster, they should be at least as bad as your average person on Twitter.
Yeah,
right. Doodle in our live audience patron chat says, saying Persona 2 is forward-thinking is not really right. And if you say that, I believe you. I haven't played P2. Yeah, I was just saying what it sounded like based on that element of the game. But if you say that it's not forward-thinking in other ways, I totally believe you. So I'm totally gonna.
I've seen plenty of people say that Persona 2 Eternal Punishment is one of their favorite game in the series. So I'd like to check out the old Persona games at some point.
Gotcha. All right, we have another donation from Javier Fuentes for $2.99, saying Kanji is best boy. Fight me in real life. I love Kanji. I have always loved Kanji. He's one of my favorite characters from Persona 4. Not quite about Chie. I do love Chie. But.
Wait, I'm reading this real quick. Andrew Albasia in our live chat says Persona 2 where you fight literal Hitler? Is Hitler in Persona 2?
I heard about that. Yeah.
That might be a bit much.
But you do fight Hitler.
that might be a little over the top.
You fight Mecha Hitler in Wolfenstein 3D, right? So
yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Maybe don't put Hitler in games. Maybe Hitler doesn't need to be a video game character.
I think
right.
Yeah, If I remember correctly, they tried to hide it a bit for the localization by just putting a pair of sunglasses on him.
Party Hitler?
Remember, like, the Japanese version of Bionic Commando for Famicom.
Oh, yeah.
Literally like Hitler's revival or something like that. Like,
oh, that's right.
I
and
will
his head
give
explodes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I will give him that the extent of Hitler's like involvement was his head just blowing up in gory detail for the Famicom. Like his eyeball came out and shit.
I just put it in the live audience chat. There's the Führer from Persona 2.
Yeah, they call him only the Führer. They don't actually call him Hitler. But
jeez, and they just stick a pair of shades on it because you totally hides who he is. It's like a superhero.
Yeah,
I'm not Hitler. I'm Führer.
Like, if it quacks like a type thing.
Also, as Critmogger reminds us, Hitler was also in that Full Metal Alchemist movie. I think The Conqueror Shambhala is the one you're talking about. It's like the ending movie to the original FMA anime series, and I actually really liked that movie for what it was. But I did completely forget that Hitler was in it.
I'm torn on stuff like that. Like, I think it's okay if like the inclusion of a horrible historical figure is limited to them like dying in a horrific way or getting the shit stomped out of them hard. I think, all right.
Like, hey, Stinko points out, Jojo Rabbit makes it like it seems like a silly imaginary character, but they make it work for having Hitler there.
Yeah, as long as you get to kick his ass, then
exactly.
Feels good.
All right. Well, okay. We actually have another couple more. So we have $2 donation from Pocket Shibata. I love that name, Pocket Shibata. Give us a Jack Bros sequel for Wii U. That is a really random specific request for Wii U specifically.
I know.
But yeah, thank you so much, Pocket Shibata. I love that name. And finally, $2 more Canadian dollars from Bongo Lovers saying Hitler is in Persona 2 for some reason. Yeah, as we were just talking about, he is called the Führer, as if people didn't know who he was actually supposed to be.
Right.
Thank you again, everybody, for your donations. Ooh, this show is going long because we've gotten so many incredible donations from our amazingly generous community. But with that said, let's make like a Pokemon and evolve into our next news story. So I know Steve is my fellow fighting game fan, Steve here, is going to be very happy to talk about this. EVO is returning to Vegas for the EVO 2021 showcase this November. It's going to be an in-person event again for the first time since the pandemic was a thing. It's going to include 5 games and an $125,000 prize pool divided among the 5 games. And those 5 games are going to be Guilty Gear Strive, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, Street Fighter V Champion Edition, Tekken 7, and Skullgirls Second Encore. It's going to be 40 players total invited to the showcase, 8 for each title. And it's going to be on November 27th to 28th at the UFC Apex in Vegas. And there has been no information, of course, though, revealed about in-person spectation options. So it's a little bit on the fence, I guess, about exactly how many people are going to be allowed to come watch in person. But if I can get on that list, I'm gonna, because I used to go to EVO every single year before the pandemic, and I've been waiting for it to come back. And even if Smash isn't going to be there, that's fine. I love watching Smash at EVO, but I also just love watching fighting games, period. And Steve, I think you and I, if we can go there together, man, we should do this together.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, I would love to go back to EVO. I've actually never been, despite it being only like a 5-hour drive from my house. Oh, yeah? I could drive to EVO, or like a $50 flight, really. Like it's really easy for me to get there. I just I never have gone, and I've always wanted to. I love watching high level competitive fighting gameplay. Like,
same.
I'm not the world's biggest Smash fan. I'm certainly not the world's best Smash player. But I do love watching people that are just at the top of their game compete against each other. And that goes for pretty much any fighting game. I just think if you understand like the fundamentals of what goes into playing fighting games in general, just seeing people that are so incredibly good at it is mind-boggling. Like I said, I had either the punishment or the privilege of playing against Justin Wong in Dragon Ball FighterZ when it was previewing at E3. And I must imagine that the Bandai rep who put me in a room with him just hated me or something. Like, they're like, yeah, this guy, put him in with Justin. Like, I got nothing
trying to give
value
you the experience of a lifetime.
It was definitely fun. And I got a good photo out of it. Like, my friend who was watching me, like, knew Justin was on the controller before I had realized it, and he caught me just like looking back at him with like, well, right before our match started.
Pure horror.
I'll die.
Matt, have you ever been to Evo? Do you watch fighting games live? Or?
Myself for that a little bit because they actually had before times there was a Evo event here in Tokyo that I missed out on, and I'm hoping to remedy that next time around if there is a next time around if they do Evo here again. I've always heard good things about it, but I've yet to go in person, but we'll hopefully be able to fix that in the relative near future. I'm just excited that events are coming back.
Yes.
Yeah. Me too. That's like the main thing. Steve and I have been talking about how hyped we are to go to PAX if and when that does happen this year. We'll see. But I'm just happy to have events back, and I'm hoping to go to this Evo event this November. And it is separate from the Evo Online event that's already taking place, by the way. So they are still two separate events. Sorry to rush along, but again, this has been going so late. So let's go ahead and move on to our final news story of the day.
Real quick, we did get one more donation from Becca's Live.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We really need to read that one.
Yes, we really should.
Yes. Becca's Live with a $4.99 donation saying, as a descendant of a family from the Holocaust, Hitler doesn't need to be in games unless it's historical. Yeah. I mean, I'm certainly not going to disagree with you there. I'd never argue with that. It does seem a little weird to use Hitler as kind of window dressing in video games.
It seems to have fallen out of favor since mid-90s. Hopefully.
Yeah,
you don't hear about it too often.
Yeah, you definitely don't see references to him nearly as much as you used to. As a teenager, I went to the Holocaust Museum, and just it really puts into focus like just how awful that person was. Like what it was the first time in my life where I had difficulty fathoming the cruelty of another human being. I was just like, how is this a thing you do? Like, how is this a thing that was allowed to exist at any point in history? But hey, fuck Hitler. That's not a hot take. I feel like
it shouldn't be.
That's a pretty easy one to get behind.
Yeah. Fuck Hitler and fuck Nazis, definitely. And that's why I take, obviously we all, hate Trump, fuck Trump. But I definitely took umbrage when I'd hear people say, oh, Trump is basically Hitler. I mean, wait a minute. Trump is shit. Yeah. But he's not Hitler. Let's come on.
Yeah, pump the brakes, jackass. Let's talk a little bit about.
Let's not hand wave away what Hitler did because you really hate Trump, as we all do. But that's a little bit too far. But thank you, and sorry I missed your donation, Beck. It's just the show is going so late, but thank you so much for your donation and for sharing that about your family. We really appreciate it and totally agree with you. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our final news story of the day. So Tetsuya Nomura has told Famitsu that Kazushige Nojima has written a rough outline for what Final Fantasy X-3 could look like. And Toriyama adds that the chance of it happening is quote-unquote not zero, but that FF7 Remake remains the focus for now. And I'm of two minds on this. As I've said before, Final Fantasy X is my favorite Final Fantasy. I really love that game to death. X-2, I think, is a very underrated sequel. However, those of you who have read or have heard about the Final Fantasy X 2.5 novel that dropped several years ago, it's awful. I mean, it's really shitty. It's really bad, and it takes the story in a direction that I don't think anybody would ever want to see it go. So, as down as I am with Final Fantasy X-3 and would like to see it happen, only as long as it's not based on anything in that 2.5 novel. Matt, it sounds like you agree. Oh yeah, sorry.
Context: Tidus is killed by a exploding blitzball.
Yeah. So basically, he kicks it.
He gets better, but
yes. Yeah, he gets better, yeah. So he kicks what he thinks is a blitzball, but I guess it's actually a bomb, and it takes his head off or something. Yeah. It's really dumb. It's really
edgy for no reason.
I want this. I want to read this.
No, how dare you? You don't want this. How dare you?
Listen, Final Fantasy X already broke my heart, and I never came back.
Right.
I don't even know how he's alive again. I mean, if we're just talking about general things without going too deep, knowing the ending of 10,
for it.
Never having played 10-2, I'm deeply confused.
well, without going into spoilers, there are ways and reasons, but yes, with 10.2.5, there's a plot twist, I guess, where he kicks what he thinks is a blitzball. It's a bomb, and it blows his head clean off.
Oh my gosh,
I'm in.
Okay, so I looked up on Reddit. Just was like, there has to be like a quick summary that I can do, so I can just impart on people how bad of an idea this whole 10.2.5 thing is. A short plot outline as it's done by an anonymous on Reddit. So here you go. So here's how it goes. Yuna and Tidus get stranded on an island. Tidus is unable to concentrate on battle because of Yuna's swimsuit. They argue.
God,
the beach is covered in blitzballs. Yeah. Tidus kicks one of them in anger. It's actually a bomb. His head gets blown off his body. It lands next to Yuna and explodes. Yuna passes out. The island is either created by an ancient summoner or a refugee for summoners to hide during the Machina War. There is a mysterious old man on the island. Yuna resurrects Tidus through the farplane by whistling. They have sex to create a new faith. She realizes this Tidus is different than the Tidus she knew. They break up. The new faith has revived all dead life on Spira. Sin is reborn anew.
This is...
Let's hope 10.3 is not this.
Details. Please. Wow. This is just so bad. This is just so bad. And it's such a middle finger to the legacy of Final Fantasy X and 10.2 and their stories. I mean, I thought 10.2, again, was pretty good. And this novel, though, is... What an embarrassment. Matt, you look like you have feelings on this, man.
I just don't get it. Like, what? What is like, you take, like, the main protagonist of a Final Fantasy game, just oopsie-doopsie, blew my head off. Like, what?
Yeah. I think my favorite part is that his head lands next to Yuna and then explodes itself. Like,
yeah, I know.
It isn't enough that the bomb takes his head off.
You know, it's just a double explosion just for funsies, I guess. Like,
it just sounds like...
Flexed by this. I have never heard of this. I did not know this existed until now. So yeah. I am just completely just.
Well, we just posted the summary in our.
Yeah, I saw somebody asking for it, so I posted the summary for people to look at for themselves. But there you go.
But it's just like, it is the lowest grade kind of just edgy, shitty fanfic. But it's apparently real to a degree. I don't include it in my headcanon because screw that. To me,
that's not a game.
And ended with the good ending of 10.2, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, because like
10.3 happens, cool.
I just don't, being a part of the industry, I don't get much joy in just ragging on other games.
Right.
This game. I don't like to be that person, but I was like, okay, this person had a vision.
Yeah,
I get it. I don't know why this is happening. I'm very confused, but there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
On the other hand, FF7 Remake, we all agree, is fucking fantastic. Love it. So it's not as though Square just keeps making miss after miss. They got it going.
To be clear, though, we're also talking about a novelization and not the outline for 10.3. 10.3 will almost certainly not follow this.
Yeah, it might take some elements like the island and stuff like that, but I don't think they're gonna. Yeah, they're gonna get rid of the really stupid parts.
I assume it'll probably go in its own direction. If not, maybe even be a prequel focusing on Braska and his party.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Who knows?
That'd be cool. Although I do like the idea of Yuna worked so hard to get Tidus back in 10.2, have the two of them go on their own little adventure together with some new characters. That'd be fun.
Right.
But who wrote this novel?
I think it was Nojima. I think it was.
No.
I think it was. Was it? Let's see.
That's what I'm curious about. Like, was this done by just some third party?
Final Fantasy X 2.5.
Yeah, it's written by Nojima.
Yeah, Kazushige Nojima, right.
Okay.
So this is from the guy who wrote 10 and 10.2.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what they were thinking, but yeah, I would like to see 10, the 10 universe make a comeback again. I love that universe. I love Spira. I would love
maybe he was just tired of writing for this universe, and he's like, well, you know what? This is my way out.
Yeah, exactly.
You want a book? Here's your book.
Yeah. Well, speaking of ways out, I do think it is about time that we go ahead and head out ourselves. We have reached the end of the show. Steve, I know you have a hard stop very soon. So As always, though, before we head out, Matt, thank you so much for being on the show and for dealing with the surprise technical issues in the middle of it. But please tell our awesome audience where they can find you on the internet, man.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Ash and all you guys, thank you so much for having me on the show. I had a lot of fun talking with you guys. This was a great way to start my Thursday. So I'm very happy to be here, and I had a lot of fun. Hopefully, we can do this again sometime in the future.
Yeah.
And if you are looking for me, I am Megamat TV on Twitter. If you want to follow what the goings on of Inti Creates, you can. It's Inti Creates EN on Twitter and Inti Creates on Facebook. And yeah, we got Blaster Master 03 coming out in just a little over 2 weeks on the 29th of July. Gunvolt 3 coming in 2022 that we're chugging along towards. And we definitely got some other very, very cool stuff in the pipeline that we haven't even showcased yet. So nice. Always something we always have multiple projects going on here at NT Create. So definitely stay tuned because we got some really cool stuff coming up soon.
Well, I will be first in line for all of them, man. I'm a huge fan of not only yours, but NT in general. Can't wait for Blaster Master 03, Gunvolt 3, whatever else you're working on. I'm there day
Curse
one,
of the Moon
man.
3.
We're hyped. Yeah, Curse of the Moon 3. But thank you again so much, Matt. And, of course, also thank you to all of our incredible patrons at the producer tier and above for helping to make this show happen, because without your support, it would not be happening. So thank you a million times for your incredible support of today's news tonight. But as always, an extra special thank you to all of our patrons at the executive producer tier and above. And those awesome, wonderful, fine folks include Jared Edinger, Brandon Bovia, Rob Arman X, Etiono Ben, Dan and Twistle, Dennis J, Z Patty, High Roll Hermit, Sky Blue Flames, Adam O'Sullivan, It's ATM, Octopuppet, Richard Herrera, Michael Phone, Aiko Carroll, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Waffle King, Kitty Kong Fax, Angel Martinez, Vedron Hotik, 112, John, Joshua Hunter, Evernight Studio, Benny Yao, Sapphire, Azran 127, Pagrima, Kinbrule 09, Jake Pelka, Geller, Joseph Rutkin, Charlie Bird, Geeky Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Kyle, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Doug Showmix, Andrew Medeiros, Orem M, Brady Power, Sakuragi, Becca, Rocks the Cat, Fizzywig Hoyd, Critmonger, The Legend of Groose, Eddie B, Kai Ed, Kit Fisto, West Egg, Deaneth, Kota, Michael McCaw, Matthew Wong, Goron Amber, Straight Lace, Justin Matthews, Hoobie, Too Much Spaghetti, Mega Conrad, Ascaron 809, Kane, Captain Finlandia, 60 Minutes and 60 Seconds, Christopher Masterson, Spicy Pandotter, The Game Orb, Dano the Artist, Grantles, Ravelox, Synchrolord, Brainchild, Rosa Pardo Bowling,
Hi, Steve's mom,
Kotar Peck, Scuff 196, Skull Kid Tiger, AJB Cool, Blizzica, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Phantom Project, Cystic Warrior 29, Darik, Ray Clausen Jr., Nathan the Voice Actor, Hulkamaniac 55, Chibi J, Bongo Lover, Mumbling Yeti, and finally, last but certainly not least, Cameron Sharp. Woo! Over 90 EPs to read out loud now. Thank you so much.
Producers, dude.
Wow, no, we are so lucky. We are blessed with the best community, the best patrons. We are so lucky for all of your support. Thank you all so much. And as a reminder, we are fully Patreon funded. And if you're interested in the various perks we offer at all of our different tiers, you can head on over to patreon.com/gvgaming, where we offer tiers ranging from $1 a month all the way up to $400 a month if you'd like to sponsor TNT. But either way, even if you can't support us on Patreon and all you can do is support us here on YouTube, we love you either way. If you could just hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, every little bit truly does help as we grow more and more. So thank you all for your incredible support of GVG and TNT, and we will see you on Friday for episode 110. Until then, good night and good vibes, everybody. Bye. All right. I think Steve had to leave, right?
He did. I just hit end